Good morning. Now is the time when anyone of any age may choose to come up front and sit closer for the Words for All Ages. And I just want to compliment the kids in this congregation today because it took us a minute to get here, didn't it? And y'all were awesome. Incredibly awesome. And now I know why one of you is wearing a bike helmet, so that's helpful because I was wildly curious about that. All right, so you kind of already know from Brittany's really cool opening words that we're talking about our pluralism value today. And some of you might remember that each of our UU values has a covenant, which is a promise that we make, something that we agree to work on as UUs. So for pluralism, we covenant to learn from one another in our responsible search for truth and meaning, and we embrace our differences and our commonalities with love and with curiosity and with respect. So I was thinking about that. And it reminded me of this game that we play at high schoolers' youth conferences, you know? And we have more than one of those cushions. Hey, Catherine, go grab the other one. We have two. And a visitor's not going to know that, so go grab the other one. Or I'll grab it. It's right on the picnic bench. I'm not worried about it at all. So this game that we play at conferences, it's partly because kids come from all these different states and they all get together at one church, and some of them don't know each other, right? So we don't know what we have in common and what's different. So what happens is we all sit in this big circle and we say, there's one person in the middle, and they say, I love all my friends and neighbors who, and they might say, like to draw. And then everybody who does like to draw all has to get up and run across the circle and find a different seat. And then the last person left, they're the one in the circle who says the next thing, right? So it's kind of like duck, duck, goose in that way. And, you know, it helps us kind of break the ice and find out what we have in common and what's new that we are really curious to learn about. So because it usually involves sitting in a circle and running around, we can't play it exactly the way it was designed today. We have to change it a little bit to make it work. But I think we can do it from our seats if you are willing to engage in a little bit of silliness. I feel like this congregation gets the concept of sacred silliness. So, yeah. All right. So one way we'll have to change it is I'm going to have to be the caller every time just for this one day. And each time I'm going to tell you what to do from your seat if what I say describes you. Okay? So let's test that out. All my friends and neighbors who speak more than one language, make your hands talk. Oh, look at that. All right, so you can kind of look around and see. All right, so we're going to do some more. Are you ready? All right. All my friends and neighbors who have had to start over in a new place say, Zoom. Oh my gosh, that's almost all of us, you guys. That's wild. All my friends and neighbors who work to protect Mother Earth, give yourself a big hug. Yeah, I knew some of y'all were going to be hugging yourselves. All my friends and neighbors who had a bad dream in the past month, give me a thumbs down. Yup. See a few. All my friends and neighbors who believe in some kind of higher power, whatever that may be, raise the roof like this. Okay. So a lot of people. All my friends and neighbors who believe human beings are basically good, turn to a neighbor and say, hi, neighbor. Hi, neighbor. All right. All my friends and neighbors who have eaten food from a culture other than your own, rub your belly. All my friends and neighbors who have cooked a food from a culture other than your own, stir that pot. All right. All my friends and neighbors who have personally experienced some kind of injustice, or discrimination, say, ouch. Ouch. Okay, this is kind of a grown-up one. All my friends and neighbors who have changed political parties at least once in your life say, reverse. Reverse. Interesting. All my friends and neighbors who have a special tradition or a holiday that's important to your family, dance in your seat. Almost everybody. Almost everybody. All my friends and neighbors who have a lot of big questions, give me a shrug and say, why? Oh yeah, that was everybody. We kind of check at the door. All my friends and neighbors who sometimes feel left out, raise your hand. Okay. All my friends and neighbors who are part of this community, we're going to do a drum roll with our hands and our feet, whichever works, okay? And, awesome. Keep going. And I'm going to count down. And when we get to 0, we're going to say, woo! So 3, 2, 1, woo! That was awesome. Okay, so we have a lot of visitors today, so I just want to make sure you know, if you are a kid who is visiting, you can go to RE with us. You don't have to. You can bring one of your grown-ups with you. You don't have to. And RE ends at 12:30, so if your kid goes and you're an adult, you have time to have coffee and a snack and chat with people before you have to go, hey, where's my kid? So now we're going to sing our way out to our religious exploration small groups. Let us go.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice. As you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace. May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice. As you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
So much energy today. I love it. That game is so much fun, don't you think? Did you know that teenagers in UU congregations across the country have been playing that game for maybe forever? At least 30 years, because when I was a youth advisor 30 years ago, we played that game. And it's so fantastic because y'all just showed each other something that a lot of communities never get to see about themselves. You aren't a monolith. Everybody here is not the same. You are not a singular demographic, not even close. Instead, you are a room full of people who have started over, some of whom speak in more than one language, some of whom have changed their minds about things that have mattered, some who hug trees and maybe even argue about whether trees deserve hugging or not. Who knows? You are, in a word, plural. You contain multitudes. And the free and responsible search for truth and meaning, one of the great hallmarks of Unitarian Universalism, requires exactly that pluralism. It requires people who have arrived at different places through different paths, carrying different questions. What kind of search would it be for truth and meaning if you only had one kind of searcher? Really boring. Quite the echo chamber, probably, right? No, for a real search for truth and meaning, you need the mystic and the skeptic in the room at the same time. You need the person who prays and the person who isn't sure prayer does anything useful. You need the one who has been here 40 years and the one who just walked in for the first time this morning. And not only do you need one another in the room together, you need to be interacting with one another. Our differences are not a problem to be managed. They are to be celebrated. And this is why pluralism is one of our core values as Unitarian Universalists. Article 2 of our UUA bylaws, which names our core values, says that we celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. I want to stay with that word celebrate just for a moment. Not tolerate, not accommodate, fine. Not even welcome, though welcome is good. We celebrate our differences. There is a difference between opening a door for someone and throwing a party for someone. Pluralism asks us to throw the party. Now, liberal religious communities, including UU congregations, sometimes talk a big game about diversity and then quietly sort ourselves into something much more comfortable, much more homogenous. We use phrases like like-minded people, as though that's what we're looking for. People who think the way we think, who vote the way we vote, who read the books we read. And I get the appeal. After years of being told that your questions or your beliefs are dangerous, suddenly finding a room where nobody flinches when you ask these hard questions, that can be truly life-saving. I believe that. But like-minded is too small of a word for what we are called to be. Because the search for truth is not advanced by a room full of people who already agree. It's advanced by people who trust one another enough to disagree in love and to keep showing up anyway. There is a saying we often attribute to Francis David, the 16th century Transylvanian Unitarian bishop. Yes, believe it or not, the 16th century had a Transylvanian Unitarian bishop. Francis David is one of the founding heroes of our tradition, and we often say that he said, "We need not think alike to love alike." Have you heard that before? We need not think alike to love alike. It turns out scholars now believe that that phrase actually originated with John Wesley, the founder of Methodism. In a sermon that he called Catholic Spirit, Wesley asked, "Though we cannot think alike, may we not love alike?" We UUs love that phrase so much that we borrowed it from a Methodist writing about Catholic spirit. Right? And this feels exactly right for a tradition that believes truth is not the exclusive property of any one person or any one religion, any one century. We find truth where it lives, even when it lives in a different tradition. So, where do we actually practice this pluralism that we value so much? Where does pluralism become more than just writings on a page? Here, in this room, virtual and physical, on Sunday mornings and beyond. Where else in your life are you regularly in relationship with people across such a span of ages, of theologies, of life experiences, of economic realities, of different worldviews? At work, you're probably in a similar professional bracket. In your neighborhood, you're probably likely in a similar tax bracket. On social media, well, we know that social media has become quite the echo chamber. But here, in this room, you sit next to somebody, maybe, twice your age or half your age. You maybe have shared a hymnal with someone whose concept of God is utterly unlike yours, or who has no concept of God at all. You talk at coffee hour with somebody who has experienced oppression in ways that you did not even know existed. You are a community of people who have fled violence, who have never left Indiana, who came to church this morning carrying grief and came to church this morning absolutely fizzing with joy. This is glorious. This is rare, and it is worth protecting. And like all good things that are glorious and rare and worth protecting, it requires something from us. It requires that we stay curious about one another, that we resist the urge to sort ourselves into comfortable clusters and never venture beyond our comfort zone. It requires that we lean into the differences rather than paper over them with phrases like-minded. That we love not despite our plurality, but because of it. The theologian Wesley, our unlikely Unitarian source, got at something profound. Love is not contingent upon agreement. Love does not require that you arrive at the same conclusions. Love requires only that you show up, that you stay in the game, and you keep your heart open. That is what this community does at its best. That is what you showed one another in a silly game played from your seats this morning. You are sacred, each and every one of you. And here you all are, together. And this congregation is so much the richer for you being here. And here's the thing about a community this rich and gloriously complicated. It does not sustain itself. When something is this good, this rare, this worth showing up for, the response isn't an obligation, it's gratitude, it's joy. Supporting this community by giving to it becomes an act of saying, I see what we have here, I want more of it, I want it to last. I am grateful to invite Jeannie and Tom Gaunt to the pulpit because they get that and they want to tell you all about it.
Good morning. I'm Tom Gaunt, and my pronouns are he and him.
And I'm Jeannie Gaunt, and my pronouns are she and her. We are grateful for the opportunity to speak with you today. We have been attending UUI for about a year now, and last June, we decided we wanted to become members of this vibrant community.
We want to share how our approach for church offering is and what it means to us each personally. Each month we give through the automatic withdrawal option offered by UUI, which helps us, mainly me, stay consistent with our support. Beginning this new year, we're increasing our giving as a reflection of our deepening commitment to the values that we see here in the mission of UUI.
You know, the way we choose to spend our money and our time says a lot about what truly matters to us. Every dollar we give, every hour we invest is a mirror of our deepest commitments and priorities. When we contribute, we are doing more than just sustaining the church financially. We are making a clear statement about what we stand for through our financial support.
Here at UUI, we are united by a set of values that guide us every day. Our JetPeg values, our community, and respect for the inherent worth and dignity of all people. We do just not walk the talk about these values on Sundays. They shape how we live, how we serve, and how we support one another. By giving to our congregation, we are making a conscious choice to fully endorse and embody these values, ensuring they are alive and well, not just in our congregation, but in the wider community.
And we do this joyfully. Giving is not a burden, it's a blessing. It is a joyful act that connects us with one another and with something bigger than ourselves. When we give, we are surrounded by others who share our vision, our hopes, and our dreams. There's a unique joy that comes from being a part of a community where generosity is not just encouraged, but is celebrated.
So as you consider your pledge, we invite you to reflect on the values that matter most to you. Know that when you give, you are affirming your place in this beloved community. You are helping to build a community that stands for something, a community that stands for UUI.
Thank you for being here, for giving joyfully.
And for sharing in the spirit and the values that make our community so special.
Thank you, Jeannie and Tom. I'm Holly Hendrickson, one of the people who is organizing our pledge campaign. If you'd like to come talk to us about pledging, your support for UUI, we have a table in the back. Right now we're soliciting pledges from everyone that possibly can help support the church as we make our budget. So please come talk to me at the back. Hope you can make a pledge of support soon. Thanks.
And there's a slide. The slide, the pledge goal. So the pledge goal is $420,000 by April 12th. And currently we are above 100,000 already at 103,285, just 1 week into our pledge campaign, which is amazing. Congratulations. And Jeannie and Tom, thank you. The joy of supporting something that you believe in is exactly what we're also about to witness again, because in just a moment, we're gonna do one of my favorite things, which is welcome the new members. We've been talking this morning about pluralism, about the sacred gift of our differences, about what it means to learn from one another, to search for truth across all the beautiful distances between us. And now we are celebrating the newest folks who have been searching alongside us and have said, yes, this is my community. I am in. We human beings have gathered for centuries seeking a deeper life than we can find by ourselves. We join religious communities to formalize that gathering, to cast our lots with one another, to form community united, not in uniformity, but in purpose and in love. People join a Unitarian Universalist congregation for all kinds of reasons, because we stand against superstition and fear, because we are open to all regardless, welcoming your different theologies, races, genders, how you worship, and who you love. Because we hold together freedom and faith, reason and wonder. Because this is a place where children learn that religion is for joy and gratitude and silliness, and that questions don't need to be scary. And some people join a Unitarian Universalist church because they walked in one Sunday, looked around at this plural, complicated, curious, loving room, and felt, maybe for the first time in a long time, that they were home. I'd like to invite Ellen Burge, chair of our Membership and Welcoming Committee, to assist me as we welcome our newest members into this beloved community.
As I call your name, I invite you to come forward and stand up front if you feel comfortable doing so. Please bring your order of service with you. It has the words you need to repeat. Jason and Jennifer Blankenship. Jacqueline Sheebish. Tom and Kelly Creveling. Kat Haynes. Sharon Lime. And Pam Odia. I invite the congregation to welcome our new members by reading together the words printed in your order of service and displayed on the screen. We, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Indianapolis, welcome you as new members to our congregation. We encourage you to join in our shared journey of transformation. We will endeavor to be guided by the Spirit of love in all our words and actions. We include you now as we continue to support the programs and ideals that bind us together in spirit and community. And now our new members respond. We
through the Spirit. Through the spirit of love, the power of community, and the values of Unitarian Universalism, we bless these new members of UUI and we welcome you among us. We give you a flower as a promise of the beauty and growth possible in our future relationship. Let's give them all a round of applause again. And you can go sit down. You may be seated. Our Unitarian Universalist congregations are such special places. UUI is a place where we laugh and cry together, where we search and wonder together, where we need not think alike to love alike. May we go from this place treasuring each moment, walking in joy and light, and changing the world, as only a gloriously plural, love-minded congregation can do. May it be so. May we, together, make it so.